Have you ever had someone that try to hold you to a standard, then they don't do it themselves, and you find out later that they were just a hypocrite? Well, we're going to talk about something that kind of got me disturbed a little bit in reference to one of the Kamala Harris supporters. So stay with me, buckle up, let's go. We on the Blac-Vocracy. Welcome again to another episode of the Blac-Vocracy, where knowledge is key. I want to talk about some things, but I want you all to hit that subscribe, like, share, notification button for me right quick so we can continue to grow the channel the proper way. We are streaming to you over the airways, the YouTube channel. So again, I appreciate you supporting me by doing that for me. But today I want to talk about Mr. Vance Jones. And many of you all who don't know who Vance Jones is, he's a reporter. Well, he's much more than just a reporter, but he's a CNN analyst, and he's been working as an activist and on the campaign trail with Kamala Harris. Not just Kamala Harris, but Vance's been around for a minute. He's been around for a minute. But I saw something that was, caught my eye, was brought to my attention in regards to his demeanor towards Donald Trump. And again, when I say Donald Trump, don't take into account that I'm just saying, with a blind eye, like I always say, with a patch over my eye, that I don't see the discrepancies or insufficiencies with Donald Trump, because I definitely do. Again, I self-govern. I also like to say I'm a trade partner with the United States. So I see things a little bit different than a lot of people. So again, I'm independent. But being independent also brings about a lot of responsibility in terms of making sure that you keep the balance. Many a times we find ourselves being indoctrinated, by one side, left or right, we lose that. There's some slippage. And we don't stand on the scales of balance or the equality of law. We just don't. We lose our egalitarianism. Yeah, because we're so focused on the individual until now we become personality worshipers and don't even know it, don't even realize it. So today I'm going to show a brief clip of what I thought was very interesting as it relates to Mr. Vance Jones. Because now that it's Kamala Harris running for president, you just simply, got amnesia and begin to say some very hurtful things as it relates to Donald Trump. See, it'll be one thing, I feel, if that was your true original feelings regarding Mr. Trump. But that wasn't. You know it, and I know it, and many other people know it. But let's go ahead and play this clip right quick, and we'll get into it. Check this out.
The reason I'm going to show you this is because I think Van Jones is scared of giving you credit. This is what Van Jones said after what you did. And it was the most uncomfortable moment on CNN because he had to thank you. If you can play this clip, Rob, I think this is the clip. Go for it.
Do you think this is? By the way, one of your partners in working on this was Jared Kushner.
This is how many years ago? This is
the date on this 5 years ago, December 18th, 2018.
Okay, play this.
So you just got that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so this is 6 years ago. If you can play this clip.
Father went to prison and who fought on this as hard as that. This is history. This is history. Right now you're witnessing history on the floor of the U.S. Senate. Where it is a Christmas miracle underway where for the first time in a generation, Republicans and Democrats are arm in arm tonight saying, we are sending too many people to prison. They're coming out bitter and not better. We want to make a tremendous difference. I want to say Hakeem Jeffries on the left, Jared Kushner, and Donald Trump on the right have brought together a coalition like I've never seen.
He gave you credit.
Literally, the National Association of Manufacturers, Fox News,
I never said that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're seeing it because to me, you see, when I think about him, obviously, it's history. He was close to Obama, communist, all that stuff. He had to kind of drop. But at the same time, they don't want him saying something like this. I want to give Hakeem Jeffries, Jarrett, and you to give that credit. This is the part where even Dems are sitting there saying, how the hell do we argue against the fact that a Republican president that we're not supposed to like did this? Cut him off. Just give him 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Let's go to the next topic to bash him again. But it was kind of great to see Van Jones saying this about.
There you have it. I mean, you heard Vance Jones himself acknowledging the bipartisan, and I repeat, bipartisan of this 2018 criminal crime bill that was passed not only in the House, but in the Senate. And prior to me showing that clip, that particular portion of the clip, there was a conversation that Mr. Trump was talking about how Vance Jones came to him because they were short on the votes. The Democrats didn't have enough votes. So he came to him, pleading with him about getting Republicans to sign off on this this criminal bill, which honestly and truthfully, so many people benefited from. And guess what? Including yours truly. Yes, me benefited. And so when I think about it, man, it hits home. It really, truly hits home. Why am I saying that? Because I watched as the years went by. When Barack Obama became president in 2008, excuse me, the first time, I thought that it was monumental. And I still believe that it was monumental. He campaigned on Yes We Can, you know, the hope and the aspirations that many, many people had and felt at that time was astronomical. And yet, with a stroke of a pen, he could have freed a lot of wrongfully convicted individuals. Wrongfully convicted individuals. We're not talking about those who actually did those crimes, those who did those level of crimes that was reprehensible. We're not talking about those individuals. We're talking about individual with college degrees, individual who didn't even have speeding tickets, you know, individuals who, you know, a lot of these, you know, assistant U.S. attorneys know that these people are innocent, but yet because of their greed for success, they just omit a lot of the information, turn a blind eye, and still bring these old trumped up charges against individuals. Barack Obama could have did with a stroke of a pen by bringing back parole. You know, they took parole out of the federal government back in 1987, but with a stroke of a pen, executive order, he didn't need to be for it to be bipartisan. And, you know, fast forward to his second term, he supported the LGBTQ community more than he did a lot of black men that was wrongfully locked up, including the former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick. You ought to listen to his own story. You know, I met plenty of guys that was in Oklahoma when Barack Obama visited the prison up there in Oklahoma, and they say Barack didn't even look in the man's door, didn't even bring him out and sit him down and have a conversation with him. I think that's very sad that you would allow a young individual, remind you, his case wasn't a violent case. He did not bankrupt Detroit. Detroit have had a long history of insolvency, but they made him out to be a scapegoat. We're speaking about Kwame Kilpatrick. And so Barack Obama didn't even acknowledge him, but yet he acknowledged those individuals who want to have their sex changed and so forth, and wanted these the voters block for the LGBTQ community. Really? Really? And so fast forward again, the bill was passed. Trump led the Republicans, Chuck Grassley. We understand that you heard him say Cory Booker, Chuck Grassley, and there was a couple of, I can't think the names right at the moment. It was a bipartisan. And at the end of the day, Trump still signed it. He could have vetoed it, but he signed it because it was the right thing to do. And you hear Vance Jones, out of the words of his own mouth, says, congratulations to Hakeem Jeffries, mentioned the other, and then he said Donald Trump. So why the change all of a sudden? Because it's not popular? It's not cool anymore? No, to mention Donald Trump? Because of all of the rhetoric that the media have portrayed and put out there. Heck, we knew about Donald Trump's pageantry, you know, the way he felt about women long ago, long before he ever even ran for president. And I've said before, though, show me a man without sin and I'll show you a liar. Again, show me a man without sin and I'll show you a liar. Do you think in that Oval Office that he's the first individual that will go into office with without any kind of disdain or no type of fluff on him? Did we forget about John F. Kennedy with Marilyn Monroe? Did we forget about Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky and countless other names? Yeah. So that's like water off my back, because it won't have who he have pillow talk with, who he sleeps with, don't have no bearing on me. Just really don't. And I know what a witch hunt look like when people are falsely accused and indicted for certain things. I know what that look like firsthand. So miss me with that one too. Again, I'm a trade partner with the United States. I don't lean far left or right. I'm independent. I'm from the justly balanced community. And I refuse to be indoctrinated or follow some superstition or tradition, because that's basically what it is. That's what, when they're talking about identity politics, that's exactly what they're referring to, is when you just go vote just to be voted because a person looks like you. You know, I used to subscribe to that. I will admit, I used to subscribe to that school of thought, but not any longer. I woke up and smelled of coffee a long time ago once I started studying economics. Once I started studying financial literacy and how it worked globally, not just domestically, started reading history from individuals like Alan Keyes, John Keyes, and Maynard, and Milton Friedman, economists, understanding those type of things and reading the Constitution, this social compact, this contract that we have. I woke up years ago, so I'm not motivated because the ethnicity of your skin color, your hue. God cares nothing about that. Because when you try to make mockery of God and God's word by removing God from the classroom or taking life without just cause, you know, trying to have sex changes because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you have this ethereal feeling that I want to be a girl today. Nah, I'm not going to accept that. So I had this video clip that I wanted to present as evidence, enter into evidence that Donald Trump wasn't all that bad of a guy back in the 80s and the 90s. And for those of you all who always talk about the individuals who was innocent in the park, at that time, I remember like yesterday, there was a lot of surrounding factors that was involved that allowed individuals to make certain statements surrounding that. Donald Trump just happened to get caught up in the hyperbole and take the ad out. That was in 1989. But here's the kicker for me. The kicker for me is simply this. He was young and he was in a lot of rappers' videos, even after that, even in the 90s. Trump was in a lot of rappers' videos. He supported Oprah. He supported Jesse Jackson. But the kicker for me is simply this. If you all have the same disposition towards him, why don't you have the same disposition towards a Joe Biden? You know, whom they call Jim Crow, or should they say Jim Joe Crow, who himself authored the crimes bill that we keep hearing about, the 1994 crime bill that got a lot of individuals locked up. and his mentor, who was a known KKK member out of Mississippi, the senator, can't think his name, but you can Google him, who he himself admitted and acknowledged that he was his mentor, was a well-known senator out of the state of Mississippi, one of the most racist states in our country. So again, it's funny how we pick and choose the things that we do when it doesn't line up with our directives. It's just amazing. I'm not emotional about it. I just point these things out because the same things that you say about one individual, I promise you, I can point out the same things about the other candidate. You know, you want to bring in more issues and a moral clause and talk about rape and this and this. And I'm sitting back saying, well, I mean, you know, did not Kamala Harris, did she not sleep with former Mayor Willie Brown out in San Francisco when he was still married? Although some say that he was separated, but he was not divorced. He was still legally married. You know, I mean, and that's really neither, again, wouldn't make me no never mind. On both sides, wouldn't make me no never mind. Because I'm going to make my own informed, adequate decision. Simple as that. I'm a businessman. I know quite a bit about business. I've been in business since 1996. So, you know, I know quite a bit about business and how business operates. I know the definition of what business really is, and it's not a lot of what people really think it is. Not what you think that it is, but what is business. Yeah, because business is about science. Business is removing the myth out of what you think business is. So again, not to get into a lot of that on this particular episode, but I want to point those things out because, again, I'm not into identity politics, and this is not a popularity contest. I don't care if that's why I never commented about whether or not if Kamala Harris was from India or Pakistan. It didn't make me no never mind. I'm looking at the quality of the individual and can she lead? Can she lead? Can she become leader of women as well as men? As well as men. Or will she crumble on the world stage? We don't have time to be sitting here showing favoritism. We are in a world of or a state of emergency. We are in a state of emergency, whether if you choose to believe that or not, because look at it globally. There's a whole lot that's happening right before our very eyes. And I've already stated before, if you're not studying BRIC, you're not really studying it. You're not really in the know. You're not involved. You're not ingratiated. You're just not. So when they talk about Donald Trump and the things that he haven't done for African American people, I know a plethora of people will tell you when he signed that criminal bill that should have actually never came to his desk. It should have never gotten off of Barack Obama's desk. Those are the facts. You had two African American attorney general, Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch. That bill should have never made it to 2016. But again, now you want to come talk to brothers. Now you want to come, try to admonish the brothers as if you somebody's daddy. No, Barack, my daddy died, man, in 2004. I don't have a daddy. Nah, I trust the Most High God, and I'll do what I feel is in my best interest. Again, but one of the things that I'm disappointed is when I see individuals who came a running, came a crying to someone, and someone helped them out. And in this case, Vance Jones going to Donald Trump, and he helps you out to get what you needed to accomplish, and then you just roll him under the bus like that because it's popular. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense to me. And again, I don't tell anybody, what to do with their vote or what's best for them regarding their household. but I like to call it fair. I'm a straight shooter. If the shoe's on the foot, I would say the same thing. I would say the exact same thing. For those who know me, know I'm gonna keep it 1,000. But I've been around the block a few times, and I've seen the inside of the belly of the beast. And I understand it's not what we think that it is. Because again, if it doesn't make a difference in your household, then we're just wasting time. We're just really wasting time. So, you know, again, this video was out there. I thought it was very important, man, to bring it up. Because again, we got to stop the hypocrisy in this country. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Blac-Vocracy. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share button. We're coming to you over the airwaves of YouTube as well as Facebook. You can go to my channel, Blac-Vocracy, as you see it, BLAC-VOCRCY. Again, hit that subscribe, like, and share button for me so that we continue to grow the channel. Thank you for joining me. Stay focused. Super Tuesday is right around the corner once again. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. All right, peace and love. Be back at you real soon.